Hello, here we are with a hands-on with the newest BlackBerry device. This is the DTEK50 and this is BlackBerry's second Android smartphone. This is your more typical slab style device in comparison to the Priv, which was their first Android device that had the slide out keyboard. Now, a little disclaimer, this DTEK50 that we have here is a pre-production sample, so although it has officially been announced, there are a few small differences on this device compared to the final production version. The primary thing being the color around the edges here. We've got sort of an all black kind of a grey finish here. There is actually a silver trim on the final production model. But let's take a look at the device nonetheless. I'm not going to go too much into the OS on here because Android's been explained a lot in other videos on the web, including our YouTube channel, but let's take a look at this device itself. So first of all, starting with the display, we've got a 5.2 inch Full HD display. It's got scratch resistant glass and a pixel per inch count of 424, so it's a decent size screen. It's not massive, but it's not small, and certainly on par with a lot of the devices available on the market today. The profile of the device is quite slim. It's 7.4 millimeters in thickness, and as I move to the bottom here, you'll see we have a micro USB port on the bottom. We have a microphone just here. On the left side of the device, it's fairly vacant of buttons and controls. We've just got the power button right up here in the upper top corner. On the top of the device, we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. We then have another microphone. You may also notice we've got a little antenna there as well. And then on the right side, we've got the volume up and down keys. We then have what is the convenience key on the DTEK50 here. We then have another hole here. It's not a microphone, it's actually the release for the SIM card tray and micro SD card slot. When you pop in a pin into there, this will release this bit and you can access those ports there. Looking back at the front, you'll actually see there's a bit of a recess between the screen and the frame here. This is for the front-facing speakers. And that design theme is actually carried round to the back as well. It looks really quite smart actually and gives it a little bit of a premium feel. On the back here we've got a 13 megapixel camera with autofocus and dual LED flash. We've got the BlackBerry logo and we've got a back cover here that is extremely grippy. It feels really good to the touch. It doesn't feel like this device is going to slide out the hand. Lots of good texture to it there. It's sort of a hard plastic with an sort of soft touch to it. It's not you know, awful to the touch, and actually I really like it. You know, the glass and everything you get on a lot of phones and the metal is great to a point, but this feels like it's going to stay in your hand nice and firm. Your fingers can really grip onto it. I really like the frame around the edge here. Adds a bit of class and style, and the silver on the final production one will look very smart as well. On the front we have an 8 megapixel front-facing camera. We have a notification light and then the various sensors here. So it's full touchscreen, no physical buttons in terms of interacting with the operating system. And this is Android 6 installed on here with a few BlackBerry customizations that we'll come on to in a moment. Built inside of this is a fixed internal battery. It's 2,610 milliamp hours. There's 16 gig of internal storage and 3 gig of RAM. So it's mid-range specification built into this handset, but enough to get you up and going. And the device is £275 inclusive of VAT for a SIM-free model at time of recording. So taking a quick look at the software then, Android 6 as I mentioned, but BlackBerry have made their own customizations. So if we go into the app drawer here, you haven't got lots of additional apps on here, but you've got a few of BlackBerry's, including BlackBerry Hub, you've got BBM, you've got DTEK by BlackBerry, which we'll come to in just a moment, you've got content transfer, you've got all of your normal Google services, but you've also got a password keeper. You've got Watch Docs and Waves Max Audio, which allows you to change the sound profile of the device. You've also got some tasks and notes applications included. You've got your sort of standard widgets, which you'd expect. What I really like and makes the BlackBerry stand out for me over and above a lot of other Android devices is all of these shortcuts. Now, these aren't hard to necessarily create on other devices, but they exist already on here for you. So it's really simple to get up and running basically and make your life just that little bit easier. So compose a BBM, compose an email. You can add these shortcuts to home screen. You can search for things here nice and easily just by typing in bits or characters that may help you find what you're looking for. You've got options in the way that it views here, so the icons and the wallpaper and much more. Of course, you can control the layout of your home screen, so the icon packs, widgets and wallpaper. You've got all of that flexibility that you would expect. You can slide down for your notifications further to get through to quick shortcuts that are fully editable here, so you can actually change which shortcuts appear there, so you can have it perfectly to your liking. Let's quickly delve into the settings before we look at some of the custom elements of the device here. So if we just go and have a look at the device here, Android 6.0.1, it's the model number STH100-2. So it'll be a SIM-free model we have here at Clove. So let's take a look at the memory in this device. 16 gig installed in the handset out of the box. Around about 9.5 gig is available. We've got a few photos and media on this device. So not the maximum amount of memory you can kind of get on an Android device, but enough to keep you up and running. And you've got the micro SD card slot in the side of the handset here that allows you to expand that further if you need it. Let's look at the convenience key. So that's the button on the right hand side of the device. You can configure that to your liking by setting this up within the settings here. So we've already assigned an action for it here. So if we press and hold on that, we've activated the torch. Press and hold again and it turns it off. So those are nice features to have if you're constantly accessing certain things. That button can really help you there. Obviously your normal Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, that's all part and parcel of this device. You've got tethering as an option as well, and wireless hotspot. Let's jump into a couple of the apps here. I'm not going to go to them, into them in too much depth, but BlackBerry Hub is one of the standout features of this device. Allows you to access various different accounts all in one place, to certainly have a unified sort of inbox, if you like, for your call logs, your emails, and all your different accounts that you can set up on here. So be it a Google account, a corporate exchange account, it can all be added, and you can kind of see all those different accounts in one place, and it's really easy to access the content and manage them without having to jump between different apps. DTEK by BlackBerry is one of the big kind of features of the BlackBerry devices. The Priv has made a name for itself for privacy, and BlackBerry aims to keep that up, rolling out monthly updates to the DTEK devices. So this is a monitor essentially that gives you a rating of how good the security is on your device and what you can do to improve it. So you can see from here what could be improved, what apps are accessing what things on your device, and you can change all those settings and give back control to yourself and just be a little bit more aware. So it gives you an idea of just how secure your device is or isn't potentially there. So on the device there is a 13 megapixel camera on the rear. You go into the camera, you've got a fairly standard sort of setup here as you can expect. All your HDR, you've got your screen ratios, you control the flash, you've got different modes, so photo, video, panorama, different shooting effects here and things there for a little bit of customization. Being Android, of course, you've got lots of different options in third-party apps. Here's a couple of sample images we've just taken on the camera. They're okay. Not the best photos in the world, but the detail is there. Fairly good colors. They're not oversaturated. They're not particularly washed out. You've got zoom control options. Overall, you know, pretty impressive, pretty reasonable for a device of this type. Good, solid photos for a mid-range handset. So the device is also quick charge 2 compatible, because with the 2610 mAh battery, whilst it should sort of last an average user through a day, if you do need extra power you can get that from it. So that's a quick hands-on with a pre-production unit of the